Hi everybody, in this video, let's learn how do we construct a histogram, cumulative histogram, and also a frequency polygon. Okay, now let's look at this question. The table in below shows a mass in kilogram of 50 basket filled with durian. Okay, for the first part, we need to complete the table. Second part, we need to draw a histogram by using a scale of 2 centimeters to 10 kilogram. On horizontal axis, it means 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on. And 2 centimeters to 2 basket on vertical axis, 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. Okay, this is a scale that we need to use for histogram. For part C, we need to draw a cumulative histogram. So from the name, you know, we need cumulative frequency. So the scale that we need to use is 2 centimeters on horizontal axis. So the same 2 centimeters to 10 kilogram on horizontal axis. So it means 10, 20, 30, and so on. And for the vertical axis is different from just now. So this 2 centimeters to 10 basket, it means 10, 20, 30, and so on. So be careful. The scale that we need to use for part B and part C are different. Okay. So this question is actually trying to help us by asking us to complete the table so that we have all the important information that we need to use when drawing a histogram and cumulative histogram. Okay, now let's complete this table first. All the cumulative frequency are given to us. We need to find the frequency ourselves. So to determine the frequency for the first class interval is actually very easy. You just need to copy this one. Okay, but when it comes to second class interval, you need to be more careful. So try to think, how do we get 10 here? We take 4 plus the frequency for this class interval so that we get the cumulative frequency for this class interval, right? So let's say I assume that the frequency here is x. So 4 plus x is equal to the cumulative frequency, which is 10. So how do we get 10? How do we get back the value of x? We take 10 minus 4, right? So now we know this is actually 6. Okay, so again, how do we get the cumulative frequency for the third class interval? We take this plus this plus this. In other words, we can say that 10, because this plus this is equal to 10, right? So 10 plus this is equal to 20, right? So what's the value here? So 10 plus, I don't know, here I just assume that x, okay? 10 plus x is equal to 20. So how do we get back the value of x? We take 20 minus 10, right? So which is equal to 10. So from here, you know, in order to get the frequency for the first each class interval here, what do we need to do here is find the difference between the cumulative frequency here and here so that we'll be able to get the frequency for this class interval. So now 10 minus 4, you get 6, right? So 20 minus 10, you get 10. So same thing here, 34 minus 20, 14, okay? 44 minus 34, you get 10. And 50 minus 44, you will get 6. So in order to make sure that our calculation all are correct, so I will suggest you to find the total frequency for all of this. So 4 plus 6 plus 10 plus 14 plus 10 plus 6. So make sure that the sum of all the frequency here is equal to 50. If it is not equal to 50, means that something wrong, we have to recalculate it again. Okay, now we have completed the column for frequency. Now let's go to midpoint. How do we determine the midpoint? I hope that you still remember what I told you in the previous video. Take 41 plus 50, 41, lower limit plus the upper limit, and then divided by 2. You will get 45.5. Okay, so do you need to calculate the midpoint for every class interval here? Like 51 plus 60 divided by 2, 61 plus 70 divided by 2. If you want to do so, yes, it is fine to do so. But if you want to do it faster to get all the midpoint for each class interval, so you can first determine the size of the class interval. So if I ask you, what is the size of the class interval here? So be careful. You cannot take 50 minus 41 or 60 minus 51, which is equal to 9. It's not correct. The size of the class interval here is not equal to 9, but it is equal to 10. So how do we get the size of the class interval? I hope that you remember. We take the upper boundary minus the lower boundary, right? So let's say if I ask you the upper boundary for... Okay, now let's focus on this class interval first. If I ask you what's the upper boundary for this class interval, 60 plus 61 divided by 2, you will get 60.5. Oh, sorry. Let me write again. 60.5. So this is 60.5. How do we get 60.5? 60 plus 61 divided by 2. So how do we get the lower boundary? 51 plus 50 divided by 2, which is equal to 50.5. So what is the size of the class interval? Now we know 60.5 minus 50.5, which is equal to 10, right? So another way, faster way to help us get the size of the class interval, we can just take this 60 minus 50 or 51 minus 41. You will still get the same answer, so which is equal to 10. Now once you have determined the size of the class interval, so it's very easy for you to get all the midpoint here. Just add 10, since the size of the class interval used here is 10. So for the next midpoint, you just add 10 to it. You will get 55.5. 55.5 add 10, 65.5 add 10, 75.5, 85.5, and the last one is 95.5. So to make sure that our calculation all are correct, so I will suggest you for the last class interval, calculate again the midpoint. 91 plus 100 and then divided by 2, you will get 95.5. So it means that our calculation all are correct. Okay, to determine the lower boundary, I think it should be no problem, right? So be careful for the first class interval. 41, but we don't have the previous class interval. So you have to think, if there's a class interval before this class interval, what will it be? So it will be, this will be 40, right? And this will be 31. Okay, so from here we know how to calculate the lower boundary for this class interval. 40 plus 41 divided by 2, which is equal to 40.5. Or you can just take this one minus 10, this one minus 10, 50.5. Okay, now this is 60.5, here will be 60.5. Okay, here will be 70.5. Keep on adding 10. Because 10 is the size of the class interval used. So if you want to calculate, like for example, 70 plus 71 divided by 2, also you will still get the same answer. Okay, 70.5, this is 80.5, this is 80.5, this is 90.5, and this is 90.5, and the last one, this is 100.5. Okay, this is the way how we get the lower boundary, upper boundary, and midpoint. Now we have all the important information that we need for histogram and cumulative histogram. Now we can start drawing the diagram that we need by using the scale given here. Okay, so the scale is 2 centimeters to 10 kilogram on the horizontal axis. Let me double check. Right, okay, 2 centimeters to 10 kilogram on the horizontal axis, and then vertical axis is 2 centimeters to 2 basket, right? Okay, now we can start to draw the graph. So you can measure your graph paper. So one big square grid is 2 centimeters. So let's draw the axis first. Let me draw it over here, and then okay, let me calculate. Let me do some planning first. Okay, no problem. First one is 40.5. So this is 40.5, 50.5, 60.5, 70.5, 80.5, 90.5, and the last one is 100.5. Okay, so this is 2 centimeter to 2 basket, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, trough maximum is 14, right? Yes, 14. Okay, because the maximum frequency is only 14, so we don't have to label the 16, is okay. So if you want to label it 16, it's okay, you can label it. So this is frequency. And this is, let me label 2, 4, 6. Okay, so this is mass in kilogram. So since that here I don't have enough space, so I will write like this, 40.5. This is correct, right? 40.5, 50.5, 60.5, 70.5, 80.5, 90.5, and the last one is 100.5. Okay, now since I skip some value here, I am going to put this symbol to tell you that I skip some value here, because you see every class interval here is 10, but here from 0 to 40.5 it's different, right? So I put this symbol here to indicate that I skip some value. But if your school teachers do not allow you to do so, then you follow his or her instruction. Don't use this symbol. Okay, follow the school teacher instruction. Okay, now I can start to draw the histogram. Okay, let me write the frequency here for you. So this is frequency 4, 6, 10, 14, 10, and 6. Okay, let me use red color. So 40.5 until 50.5. The frequency is 4. So I'm going to draw one line over here. I just draw one line over here. Okay, now the second class interval is 6. And a line over here. Okay, 6. Then 10, 14, 10. Okay, and the last class interval is 6. Oh, I think I make some mistakes, sorry. So this is 10, 14. Nah, let me double check again. 4, 6, 10. 4, 6, 10, 14. Oh, sorry. Here should be here. 10. And the last one is 6. Let me double check again. 4, 6, 10, 14, 16, 4, 6, 10, 14, 16. Okay, all correct. Now, what I need to do next is just connect the line here. Draw a line from here to here. From here to here. Okay, to the last line for the last class interval. Okay, this is the way how we draw and how we draw a histogram. Normally, we will be using boundary, low boundary, and upper boundary for drawing a histogram. But sometimes you see some book they will use midpoint. If the question want you to draw a histogram and a frequency polygon on the same axis, normally it will ask you to use the midpoint. So if you use midpoint, it's actually okay, but you cannot, let's say, the first class interval, the midpoint is 45.5, right? So you have to label at the middle here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So your labeling will be here. And 1, 2, okay, it's too small. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. So the labeling will be here. So I think it will be harder, right, to label this way. So normally we will be using boundary. Okay, now let's go to the part C. Now we need to draw a cumulative histogram. From the name, we need to use cumulative frequency. Okay, so this axis I can still using it because the scale is same here. 2 centimeter to 10 kilogram, 40.5, 50.5, 60.5. And this one I have to change it because this time I need to use a scale of 2 centimeter to 10 basket. So here, let me erase this one. So I don't need so tall, I just need until 50. So it will be 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Okay, so let me make this shorter. So this is not frequency, but cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency. Okay. So same thing, but this time just what's the difference is this time we use cumulative frequency. For the first class intervals, still the same, 4, but since the now this will be a little bit harder maybe because 4 you need to calculate 4. This is 10 small grid to give you 10, right? It means that one small grid will be 1, so we need 4. Let me enlarge it because now it's too small, very hard for me to get to see it. Okay, so the first one is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I see it? Okay, this 4. And the second one is 10. So it will be here. So since we are using cumulative frequency, right? So the bar will keep on increasing. The height of the bar keep on increasing. And then this 20. 34, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34 over here. Okay, and 44, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Okay, 44 is over here. Okay, 44. And the last one is 50. 50 is over here. Now, do you notice that the height of the bars keep on increasing? Okay, so next step, just do as what we did just now. Okay, this is a cumulative histogram that the answer for part C. Let me double check. Cumulative histogram. Okay. Correct. Okay. So this is a way how we construct a histogram and cumulative histogram. Now let's learn one more thing. How do we draw a frequency polygon? Now let's try these questions. The frequency table above shows the distribution of the lifespan in hours of 60 electric light bulbs tested by the quality control department of a manufacturing company. Okay, we want to complete the table given below and using a scale of 1 centimeters. Oh, this is 1 centimeter, so be careful because the graph is actually 2 centimeter, 2 centimeter. Normally, a big square grid is 2 centimeter. So since the question asks us to use 1 centimeter to 3 hours, so we have to follow 1 centimeters to 3 hours, and this is for horizontal axis, and a scale of 1 centimeter to 2 units on the vertical axis. Draw a frequency polygon. So to draw a frequency polygon, we need a midpoint. Okay, we need a midpoint, and don't forget, polygon is a cross shape, right? Formed by a straight line. So definitely we need to draw a straight. All must be straight line, and this one very important, we need to add one class interval before the first class interval and another class interval after the last class interval so that we have a cross shape. Okay, now to draw a frequency polygon we use midpoint. Okay, what is the midpoint for the first class interval? 158 plus 160, and divided by 2, you will get 159. This is 159. Okay, so the next frequency, the next midpoint, what's the size of the class interval here? 3, right? So you just plus 3, 1, 6, 2, plus 3, 1, 6, 5, and so on. So another way is try to observe the this number and this number. Add 1, right? This number and this number, add 1. So the next one, 167 add 1, 168. 170 at 1, 171, 173 at 1, 174. Okay, this is another way to help us to get the midpoint faster. Okay, 177 and 180. Okay, now frequency, we don't have to calculate, we just copy. This is 0 and this is also 0. These two class intervals, sometime the table will not have these two class interval, but if we are asked to draw a frequency polygon, we need to add them ourselves. Okay, be careful. For the rest, we just copy 12, 7, 11, 7, 10, and 13. Now we can start to draw the frequency polygon. Okay, now let me draw the vertical axis and horizontal axis first. So I think later I'm going to change the scale here because it's easier for me to show you. If let's say, but I will explain to you first. Now let's say the frequency, this is for frequency and this is for the midpoint. One centimeter to 2, right? 1 centimeter to 2 units on the vertical axis. So if the quotient say 1 centimeter, then it will be like this because a big square grid is 2 centimeter by 2 centimeter. So 1 centimeter will be harder for us to draw it. Now let me make it larger so that you can see clearer. Okay, let's say according to the quotient 1 centimeters to 2 units on the vertical axis, then it will be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 2. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4. Okay, and so on. So the midpoint. So same thing, I'm going to write a symbol here, a break symbol here to indicate that I skip some value over here. And the first one is 159, right? 159. If the question asks you to use a scale 1 centimeters to 3 hours, so 1 centimeter will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 1 centimeters. So it will be 162 over here. But I think here I'm going to change the scale to 2 centimeters to 3 hours and 2 centimeters to 2 units so that all the number will not be so crowded and easier for me to show you. Okay, now you already know, right? What's 1 centimeter to 3 hours or 2 centimeters to 3 hours? What's their difference? So this is 1 centimeters to 3 hours and 1 centimeter to 2 units. Okay, now I'm going to change the scale. But remember, in the exam, don't go and change the scale. If the question say 1 centimeter, you have to follow the scale given. Here, because I want to explain to you, I want to let you see clearer, so I'm going to change the scale, so all the number will not be so crowded together. Okay, so I'm going to change the scale to 2 centimeters to 3 hours and 2 centimeters to 2 units. So this will be easier for me to show you how to draw the histogram. But remember, in the exam, you cannot change the scale yourself, okay? Oh. Let me move it. Two centimeter to 3 hours on the horizontal axis and 2 centimeter to 2 unit on the vertical axis. Maximum is 12. So let me draw it over here. First one, 159, 162, 165, Okay, 168, 171, 174, 177, and the last one is 180. Okay, I'm going to draw a break symbol here. But if you don't want to draw it, or your school teachers don't want you to draw it, then you don't draw the symbol. Okay. Now I'm using the scale of 2 centimeters to 3 hours, and 2 centimeters to 2 units. So this is, let me label 0. Okay, and this is 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So maximums under 12. Okay, this is frequency. Okay, I forgot just now when I drew the histogram for it. Did I put a 0 here? So if I forgot, you remember to put, when you draw the graph, right? Remember to put a 0. Okay, now, and this is 159. This is 162, 165, 168, 171, 174, 177, and 180. Okay. So always start for frequency polygon, always start here, 0, and end with 0 as well. So that we have a cross shape. A polygon is a cross shape formed by a straight line. Formed by all straight line. Okay, 162, 12. 12 is over here. 7. 7 is the middle between 6 and 8. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me make it larger so that easier for me to say it. 7. Okay, next one is 11. 11 is same thing. The middle between 10 and 12. Over here. 7 again. 7. 10, 13. And this is 10. And the last one is 13. Oh, sorry, the maximum should be 13. So I need to add one more over here, which is 14. Okay, 13 is the middle between 12 and 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last one is 0. So the next step, you cannot draw it with freehand polygon, right? All a straight line. You need to use your ruler to connect all these points together. Okay, now this is a frequency polygon that we need to draw for this question. Oh, I forgot to label this one. This is lifespan. Just copy from the table. And the units is in hours. Okay, that's all for this video. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.